This story deals with domestic violence. Day 1. Blizzard. The first snowflake fell, and with it, a new chapter began. As it brushed the window pane and transformed into a wet streak, Helena grabbed her heavy coat, wiped a tear from her eye, and breathed a sigh of self-reassurance as she stepped onto the pavement. The gravel shed off by the street crunched underfoot as she made her way towards the bus stop. Seeing no sign of a bus, she kept walking. She knew if she stopped, she might turn around, head home. Better to keep momentum. As she turned the corner by the shop, she remembered how he had shouted at her in there, years before it changed hands. But her cheeks still started to prickle as she recalled the expression on the young girl's face behind the counter, unsure where to look, what to say. It had all been about a flavour of crisps, how Helena had instinctively reached for ready salted, but he liked salt and vinegar, and she knew that. She was always doing that, ignoring his feelings. She reached the park, if you could call it that. There were already a few snowflakes settled on the bar reaching over the top of the single swing. She once spent 3 or 4 hours in the dark on that swing, not wanting to go back to his. He told her she would be back, and she knew she would be back, but she couldn't bring herself to go so quickly, to let him feel relief so soon, before it was dark. It had been really cold that night, too. An old lady was doing a circuit of the browny-green rectangle with her Westie, and Helena wished more than anything in that moment to be that dog. She was getting a little out of breath. It felt nice. She spent a lot of time at home, and she realised it was rare for her to feel her body. Her lungs seemed to be pulling down, stretching her throat. The back of her nose stung a little. She sped up to see if she couldn't feel something else. In the slight incline of the hill, the back of her leg started to burn. Her big toes strained as she pushed off each step. She noticed she was pumping her arms, pumping her lungs, lifting her feet faster and faster. She broke into a run. Another old woman sat in her front window, unnoticed by Helena, watched the full 20 strides it took to pass the house from left to right. If Helena had noticed, she wouldn't have been surprised, because she knew she looked like she was running from something or someone. But she was running to someone. And when she thought that, an involuntary grin broke out wide and taut across her face, and she sped up the hill. She reached the top, turned left onto Corbin Crescent, straight past number 14, where that lovely man lived, who had asked her if she was all right and offered her a cup of tea that day he hit her. Not the lovely man. He didn't hit her. He was lovely. No, he hit her across the face in the street for making a joke about his mum. But they had been joking about mums. Her mum they saw in the park. They'd been laughing. Then he hit her. But he was the one who ran off crying. The lovely man was shocked and could only offer tea because that was all he could think of. She was there, number 36, and he was there, sitting on the bench under the front window. She had run and run quickly, and she felt great. The tears running down her cheeks didn't need any blinking to help them, and they ran as if they were being released. She wasn't fully sure why, but felt great. When he heard her ragged breaths, he looked up, and he was crying too. So many times that had broken her heart, pulled her stomach out, made her arms and legs feel weak, made her feel weak. But this time, she actually smiled. A single laugh escaped in a voiceless rush. "Mummy? Come here, sweetheart." She opened her arms and felt her fingers tingling. He stood up, but looked over his shoulder through the front window. "Why are you laughing?" "Because I was right. Come here. It'll be all right." He didn't look convinced, but shuffled over anyway. Then the front door swung open. For what seemed a lifetime, The darkness of the hallway behind swallowed up whoever had wrenched open the door. She allowed herself to imagine that it was opened by someone else. Maybe there was a girlfriend, a cleaner, his mother. Maybe it just opened on its own. But no. He appeared. She felt her son tuck in next to her. Despite being left outside, his head was still warm against her hip. "What are you doing here? I've got him until tomorrow," he said. "It's snowing," she said. He looked up at the milky sky, squinting. "It won't settle. And if it does, you can take him out in it tomorrow, but I've got him today." "He was sitting out here in the snow." "Yeah, well, he was being cheeky. He gets that from you." "He won't be staying here anymore." She felt her son's fist bunch around the hem of her coat. He laughed. "He'll be staying here tomorrow, and then I'll be looking after him in 2 weeks, like we agreed." "You don't look after him. And we won't look after you either." He sighed, looked both ways up the street, and stepped out onto the pebble-dashed concrete of the front garden. Even though he was angry and coming to hurt her, he was still clearly uncomfortable getting his socks wet, too lazy to find any shoes. He lightly hopped towards her, almost on tiptoes, looking to where he was going to make contact, perhaps grab her hair or coat. She was watching his cogs turn as she spread her right hand, cocked it, and brought it as hard as she could across the side of his head. The shock of the impact went right up into her shoulder, but she felt a rush as she heard his eardrum pop, and his right foot slipped forward, sending him tumbling backwards. She left him, screaming filth into the knee-high brick wall separating the front garden from the pavement. She was sweating and panting, but smiling, and the coursing adrenaline made lifting her little boy up onto her shoulders feel like putting on a scarf. "Let's go for a walk around the park," she said. "I saw some snow on the swings."